This area used to be a saki, or a point, where the Yodogawa River and a tributary of the river surrounding a sandbar flowed into Osaka Bay. The land around the area was called Sone, or barren land, filled with nothing but rock hills and pebbles. Later, the entire stretch from barren land to water came to be known as Sonezaki. Sonezaki had been developed into a farming village by around the 15th century, and until about the beginning of the Edo period, it remained a quiet rural village adorned with countless rape blossoms. When the Sonezaki reclaimed land was completed, the name Sonezaki became known by the reclamation project. Construction on Sonezaki Dori began in 1997. The road will be 4.8 kilometers long, linking National Highway 1 at Higashinoda to National Highway 2 at Noda.
歩でいいから。
立ち止まらずにお進みください。上り口には右側のエスカレーターへご利用ください。
正面通ってない。
こちらは女性トイレです。